Who your top favorite producer?
Number one, Timbaland. Timbaland. I low key just read his book like a few months ago. Very inspired by him. I was like, he was one of the first producers that I was like, all right, like he has like the hits, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I heard a lot of stuff growing up, it was Timbaland produced. Of course, Kanye is a huge influence in the way I produce, and he's from the city, so you know, always a good influence to see. Jay Dilla, and I'm gonna say Ali Shaheed Muhammad from A Tribe Called Quest. So yeah, they all like really, because A Tribe Called Quest is my favorite group. So that's
what your favorite? I don't think that people shows. I mean, this generation only said like.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you pick favorite?
A Tribe Called Quest is like when I was first like really like getting into like music and things like that. That was like the first group that like really stood out to me. And so like I downloaded every album they had. Like I was watching all the interviews. I was watching like just everything they had. Like it was just like, oh man, like this group was the shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was alive, but I wasn't aware to be like a fan at the time when they were relevant. You know what I'm saying? But like, even though like I caught them late, I was a big fan from then on. So Q-Tip, Phife Dawg, like Phife Dawg was my favorite MC when I was coming up, and just like listening to his like rhyme schemes and things like that, they just had me hooked. I was just like, and then the production was like Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Jay Dilla, you know what I'm saying? They used to fuck with Busta Rhymes, you know what I'm saying? So they were around, you know, and they were just like, just cold. They were just so cold to me. So them, and I also say 3-6 Mafia too. They were my shit. So.
What's the Hydrox? What's the group?
So the Hydrox is a collective. So me, Mike Jax, XODB or X on the Beat, Sabier Music, my homie Lex. We all are basically like producers, engineers, DJs.
Everybody from Chicago?
Lex is from Carolina, and then the rest of us are from Chicago. It's just a few of us are like in Atlanta and things like that. But like we are, you know, we're a collective in the same sense as like, you know, 808 Mafia or things like that. We just have a good producer collective that we all come together. We make music. We, you know, use our networks. You know, if I have a certain artist that I want other people in my group to work with, you know, we do like things like that. So I've been a part of it for about 4 years now. So the Hydrox has been like going on, and my homie Mike Jax, he's the one who started the Hydrox. He started that like I want to say like 2009, and so I know like his first placement under the Hydrox was like with like Yellow Wolf and Lil Jon. They had like a song like back in like 2011, and then we just been going from there. We got like little placements here and there, got like a 2 Chainz placement, things like that. So it's been going well so far, and then now we're just trying to elevate that, and you know, whoever's in the group, we just hope we all get on, because if one of us get on, we all on type shit, you know.
I saw a picture with Dito, Beautiful, and Z Moey. Like, I was thinking, why you around so many artists from West Side or something? Like, you choose to go that way, or it just happened? Like,
yeah, it just happens like that. I was like, it is a lot of West Side artists that I noticed, and then like I don't know, it's just a lot of them really reach out. Z reached out a lot, and so I was always like, okay, you know, because my homie Don Rob, he put me in place with, you know, working with Z a lot more, because then they work at the stew. So you know what I'm saying, we were like, oh yeah, you know, he was like, yeah, just come through, start playing beats. So he would always plug me with artists that come through and things like that. And then my homie Ted also, he does photography and things like that. He like with D-Lo, like that's how we met. We were at Fort Knox, and then basically like I just played him some of my joints. He was like, yeah, we gotta work. That was like some months ago, and then we finally got in the studio just recently, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we got some dope joints. And then working with 4 as well from Black Ink, like he's also like really dope. So
yeah, how you link up with him?
Ted is like, that's his photographer as well. And so basically like he was like, yeah, I can get you in the studio before, and I was like, oh, bet. And he was like, so then we linked up at Fort Knox, and I met Ford. Real cool guy. So, he never even met me, but he was like, yeah, you can chill in the session, whatever. I played some beats, and he was like, yeah, I'm rocking with these. And so from then on, like, I would hit up for him and be like, yo, when you're in the studio, he'd be like, oh, I'm about to be here later on tonight, you can come through. And so we just been having that type of relationship. And so now recently I was just in there with him 2 weeks ago, and so we got like a really dope joint that's going to start coming out. So it's called Wraith. So you heard it here first, because that joint's gonna be hot as hell.
Okay. Do you into politics?
Am I into politics?
Do you watch the news or?
I'm impartial of that shit. I mean, like, I do want to know what's going on within the world, but I'm not like involved enough to like tell you by detail what's going on. Why? What's up?
I be most every interview, I want to talk about how people feel about Trump, Donald Trump right now. What do you think about Trump?
I think he is so difficult to talk about. Trump is a president, and he is the typical president that I feel was going to be in office regardless. So I feel like America's a business, and they got a businessman to be a president. So either we're gonna come out of this with better business or just be in a shithole. So because I was like I always tell people, I was like, Donald Trump he's a reflection of what we wanted anyway. So I was like, yeah. So I was like, this is what America is. If you wanted to see what America is, look at our president, because he's the face of America. So that is what I would tell people. He's the face. He's the reflection of what a lot of Americans are.
So you support him or?
No, definitely not. I'm anti-Trump. I was like very much anti-Trump. Even him as like a media mogul before presidency, I wasn't like really. I never watched The Apprentice. I can care less about Trump, to be totally honest. He was just another rich white man to me. So.
You named Kanye West one of your favorite producers. Now Kanye said that he supports Trump, and even one interview or something, Kanye said on the Twitter, Obama was president for 8 years or something, but Chicago, he didn't change, he didn't do much. He supposed to do something, but I know Obama did as much he could or something, but what you think, like, even Kanye started coming out little bit
he's Kanye can't speak for everybody. I was like, he can only state his own personal opinion. I don't agree with everything Kanye does. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with his marriage, not, to be honest, but that's him. That's who he chooses to be with. That's what he chooses to believe. And so I was like, I try not to let that diminish my view on somebody who has influenced me. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, everybody has their own personal opinion. If that's how you feel, works for you. Because I was like, I feel like Obama's done a lot. And then to be the first black president already is a lot of pressure. And then to know that the president in itself does not have a lot of power. So, what I'm saying? Like, people make the president seem like he's not a dictator. He's literally just the face of America. So it's like, if he was a dictator, maybe he could have done something better. But I was like, you still have a legislation that has to make those type of decisions. So I was like, you can't just blame him. There's a whole big ass group of people